Here we are, we're collecting the data raw. We can see the gaze cursor, the yellow cursor, of course the laptop's moving around that's presenting the game all over the place. And we're going to go ahead and track those 4 markers. The stimulus is what we call our StimTrac. So we've detected the 4 corners, we turn on the StimTrac and let it play. We're going to speed it up a little bit, run the speed at 2, but you get the idea. It just plays through and tracks those markers throughout the video lengths. And then we come in and we're going to make sure we've got our video configured. And right now, we're going to come through and configure our stimulus. To do that, we choose a background. We've taken a still image of the screen itself. We've attached areas of interest to it and everything else, but we'll get to that in a moment. Here we're just tracking, identifying where the 4 corners of the stimulus are relative to the computer screen. This will set up a relationship between those markers in the corner of the screen, and we can transform our data from the scene camera coordinate frame to the stimulus coordinate frame. So now we can just come in and tell it to find a fixation sequence. We're going to convert those gaze points into fixations, and we can then come in and look at our AOI bar plots. Tell us, total time in each area of interest. We can time to first fixation, average pupil diameter, number of fixations, average fixation duration, all sorts of things. You can save any of those graphs for reports. And we can also play the video or play the gaze over the image here. And we're going to go ahead and play this through, and you'll see on the bottom we've got this bar plot, and each one of those lines represents one of the areas of interest, each color. And if it's the dark color of that one, it means you're on that one. If it's the light color, it means you've been there, but you're not currently on it. If it's gray, it means you haven't been there yet. And what we see up at the top is we're showing fixations. These are these yellow dots. The longer the yellow circles are, or the larger they are, the longer the fixation duration. And we've got areas of interest. You can see the red bounding box at the top on the left around the scores, the green on the right, the playing field, how much money we have, what the bet is, all these things. So you can set up as many areas of interest as you want. We can visualize this with a heat map if we want, and we can see the gaze trail as well. Those are individual gaze points. Heat map and gaze trail are related to gaze points. Fixations, of course, are a collection of gaze points at a certain location for a certain amount of time. We can save any of this as a video or save a particular frame. Because we have a static background with an area of interest, we can apply it to many participants at the same time and do group statistics. So here we have 3 different participants, and we're going to go ahead and look at each one of them. They're represented with red, blue, and light green dots, and you can see them moving around by themselves, sort of like a cloud. And then we can come in here and we can turn on the heat map, and this is all the people across it. And I moved the video all the way to the right just to show the cumulative across the group. We can look at any one individual or any group thereof that we've loaded in. Here we have none. We're just showing the 3rd participant, showing the 2nd participant, and we'll show the 1st participant. So they're a little different. We can see that the differences between the groups, etc. We can also come in here and do a group bar plot. Much like we saw with an individual one, we're going to put all 3 of them across, but we can look at our standard error across that. So statistically, is it really significant difference? Well, certainly is between the playing field and the spinner. Those are the 2 biggest things that we looked at. Time to first fixation. How long did it take to actually look at that? It took a while for me to look at how much money I had in the bank.